This is a GHA that hasn't published a report for a long time, not of that annual nature. They haven't. This is being published today in the middle of an election campaign where it's being audited against the 2019 manifesto of the government. It's said, because it says so in the introduction several times. Well, clearly it's being used as a tool in the middle of the campaign. I think it's inappropriate. They could have published it before the campaign. There would have been no criticism of that. And now that we're in the middle of the campaign, they should have published it at the end, after the campaign is over. But to do it in the middle, it just looks like the GHA is allowing itself to be used as a tool, a political tool, and that the government is using the GHA as a political tool, and the caretaker government. And this is a government that recently has said that the GHA is now independent. So, I mean, clearly they can't have it both ways.
The GSD claims it's simply not credible to say the GHA's problems have magically disappeared since Professor Patrick Geoghegan took over at the beginning of last year, when he'd claimed the health authority lacked direction and structure. It recalls the head of clinical governance, Professor Derek Burke, had shortly before that described the GHA as a failed organisation. Keith Azopardi says things are improving, but that there's no magic wand that has drastically transformed the services. Candidates Atrish Sanchez and Joel Ladislaus highlighted measures the GSD would introduce to better the GHA. These include a Care Quality Commission, a Mental Health Director and an A&E for mental health services. One of the GSD's initiatives would be the automatic renewal of the GHA card. The GSD would launch a strategic review on health and on the mental health services and review and audit the housing stock. Party leader Keith Azopardi said it was not fair to say his manifesto centred on reviews when it contained nearly 600 commitments. But this was an issue he said he would defend against attempts by the GSLP Liberals to use it to undermine him.
I make no apology about the fact that we are reviewing certain things, because I think it's important to strategize for the future, because otherwise what you have is piecemeal government, which is what they deliver day after day. So in the health field, we're going to have a strategic review. Why? Because I recognize that the reforms that are being carried out have achieved things in the last 18 months. But the information and reaching us speaks to a huge disconnect between the self-congratulatory message of today and the low morale of staff and people saying that they don't have follow-ups in mental health or diagnostic treatment in the hospital. So clearly not everything is as rosy as it's being portrayed. I commissioned a review as one of the first acts in 1996. It was important to do so because, again, that allows you to get opinion as to the future handling of the health service. I view it as a good thing, not a bad thing, for people to strategize about Gibraltar's public administration.